very good evening and welcome to the Bendigo Basketball Centre. Tonight it is round 7 of the Women's National Basketball League season for 2016-17, and a top of the table clash for you right here. The Perth Lynx, their record 6-2, take on the Bendigo Spirit with a record of 5-3. Matt Cecins here to call all the action on this top of the table clash, and joining me, a former Perth Wildcat, Nik Lacovic. And Nik, exciting game on the cards.
Absolutely, Matt. We have the best defensive team in the Bendigo Spirit up against the best offensive team in the Perth Lynx this evening. Their defense is created off the back of having an elite rebounding team, the Spirit do. Beating opposition teams by +9 per game, thanks largely to a Kunway who controls the glass for them, for the Spirit.
Yeah, some fascinating matchups across the board. Sammy Whitcomb, the player of the month in the WNBL, she's been in red-hot form. A big key to the Perth Lynx's offensive hopes this evening.
Absolutely. We're talking about the Rolls-Royce of the WNBL in Sammy Whitcomb, player of the month, as you just mentioned, for October. But she's well supported in the backcourt with Tessa Lavey and Tony Edmondson. A lot of their offense is created by their elite ability to be able to create disruption in their defensive areas of the floor. That allows them to get out in transition and be an elite transition team and score, which releases pressure off them in the half court. An unbelievable tale of two teams from two different spectrums, one defensive and one offensive.
And the battle on the glass will be key as well, Nik. Two of the best rebounding teams in the league.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, two great defensive rebounding teams. The battle of the glass tonight will determine who wins this game. As long as the Lynx can take care of the basketball and have an advantage on the glass, they should put themselves in another good position to continue this run of wins.
For the visitors, some of their other key players in tonight's fixture.
Griffin has been very, very good this year. More of a spot-up shooter than she's been in the past, and the backcourt is run and delivered by Harrington. The matchup between Harrington and Lavey will be an extremely exciting one to watch. Lavey has to be up for controlling Harrington. She's a type of guard that can push him from one end to the other, deceptively quick and a strong finisher from both sides of the body.
It's going to be a fascinating matchup. Let's welcome our third member of the commentary team this evening, our sideline reporter, Mark Cometti. A very good evening, Mark.
Thanks, Matt. It's still a wrestling term, boys. It's going to be a styles clash here tonight. The most explosive offensive team in the Perth Lynx, averaging 80.3 points a game versus the stingiest defense, Bendigo, who allows just 66 points per game. And it's going to be questionably some of the two best front lines in the league going head to head. So that's going to be
out the call. Congratulations to Kelsey Griffin, her 100th career game, all with the Bendigo Spirit, the 29-year-old, third overall pick in the 2010 NBA draft. Gabrielle Richards, Nik, plays her 199th career game. They have a doomsday double. They've got to take on the best team in the league and then fly to Adelaide to take them on Sunday.
It certainly doesn't get easy for any of the teams that travel west to take on the Lynx, and then supported by a tough Adelaide team.
These starting fires for you this evening at home. Firstly, for the visiting Spirit, Karen Harrington, Nao Raincock-Kunway, Gabrielle Richards, Ashley Karaya-Tiana, and also Kelsey Griffin. We are underway. Starting in red, the skipper, Tessa Lavey, Tony Edmondson, Carly Mijovic, Sammy Whitcomb, and Ruth Hamblin. The dribble handoff to get us underway. Over to the far 45. And that's Griffin, bounces it inside to a Kunway, back outside from deep, that was short. And the offensive board is corralled by the Spirit. They get a second bite of the cherry. Nice little dump down inside. Richards ran out of room. Only 7 to shoot now for the visitors. Well done, Edmondson, forcing her opponent baseline. Lovely bounce pass inside, and first blood goes to the visitors. Raincock-Kunway kissing it off the glass.
And that's what you get with an extremely athletic forward like a Kunway there. She's an elite rebounder and also finisher.
Our first basket of the ball game. Whitcomb looks to operate, blows past Harrington to the rack and scores. And the score's knotted up. And physical play on the inbounds also, making Karen Harrington work all 90 feet of the floor.
So balanced, an elite finisher, both off the bounce, because she stretches you out with her ability to be able to knock down from the perimeter. You've got to close out hard, and she can pull through and get you to the rim.
Little leaner there from Karaya-Tiana was unsuccessful. Lavey lobs it down to the Canadian hammer. Her left-hander from Hamlin was a little long. Scores knotted at 2 apiece. Kunway looking for options and finds Karaitiana going back door. She's fouled. And she'll get her first trip to the foul line. 2 points apiece, a minute and a half played in the opening term.
Matt, what we're going to see from the Spirit this afternoon from Coach Simon Pritchard is this is a team that loves to run a lot of motion-based offenses. He has a hybrid of both a traditional ball reversal, like a shuffle cut into an offense, mixed in with some triangle rules into what they do. Not a lot of standing, a lot of good ball reversal. They try to catch their defensive team off guard here, and as we saw with that good back cut there, enabling them to put pressure on the rim.
Karaitiana knocks down both. The visitors retake the lead early stages of the opening term. Whitcomb pulls the trigger from downtown, nothing but nylon, and the first lead of the ball game to the Perth Lynx. 5 plays 4.
She seems locked in this evening, Matt. 5 points in a row for the Lynx, all from Whitcomb.
And another foul over on the baseline. The officials tonight, Adrian and Steve DeConza and Mark Grist, the All-WA refereeing team. And a little bit of foul trouble early for the Perth Lynx. Hamblin has 1, and Sammy Whitcomb registers her first personal foul of the ball game. Spirit ball, Karaitiana inbounds. Shot clock winding down to single figures. And Kunway just takes it left of the basket, off the window again. She has 4 to start the ball game.
A great finish, crossed over, was able to get to the rim with the left hand and hold her composure on that finish.
Along with Whitcomb, probably the front runners in the early stages of the season for the WNBL MVP. Edmondson almost lost the handle. Outside to Mijovic, she's been red hot, in and out. To the lap of the basket, popped out. Spirit by 1. 2.5 played in this opening term from the Bendigo Basketball Centre. Top of the table clash. Karaitiana guarded by Whitcomb. And Raincock-Kunway establishing the position, had it slapped out of her clutches. Need to give a shout out to her mother, Denise, watching over there in BC. Lovely part of the world there in Canada.
Yeah, we had a lovely chat with Nao before the game, and we wish her mother all the best, tuning in, listening to her lovely daughter playing this evening.
And mopping up, Gabrielle Richards, the offensive board, the putback good for 2. Biggest lead of the game, 3 points to the visitors. And the reaching in foul on Harrington, and Whitcomb's looking aggressive from the start, and that will open up her perimeter game, Nick.
She leads them not only in scoring in the competition, Matt, but she leads the team in energy. Everything fires off her ability to be able to get to the rim, blow past, create opportunities for herself and for her teammates. And you can see she's dialed in this evening. Dietrich
has checked into the game for the Spirit. Edmondson outside to Whitcomb. Can she make it 8? You bet. Carbon copy swishes the 3, this time from the near side, and knocks the ball game at 8 points apiece. Shot clock now down to 10. Karaitiana into the short corner. Looking to back down there. Here's Griffin. Little jump hook was pretty good for 2.
She does a bit of everything, Matt, really, really well. Tough to defend, a 188-centimetre forward. She can back players down and also spot up.
And Whitcomb just bounced the ball over the baseline. A turnover, the first for the Lynx, as Nat Burton sees her first action this evening. Ruth Hamblin makes way.
And that's a matchup substitution. You can see the athletic nature of what Raincock-Kunway can do. This is a better matchup for the Lynx with Nat Burton out there trying to keep her active and away from the rim.
And Dietrich had it slapped from her clutches over the end line. It'll be a Spirit ball as Griffin in game number 100, as we said, checks out. And replacing her, Nadine Payne. Formerly the AIS, Townsville, Adelaide and SEQ. Finding a home now at Bendigo. Karaitiana into the corner now. This is Dietrich. The handoff, only 5 to shoot now for the Spirit. Dietrich inside. They lost track of Kunway, 2+1. And the Lynx just going to sleep there on the pass from Raincock-Kunway. A long range give and goes, good for 2 and 1 to come.
Stayed too connected to the guard coming off the dribble handoff. Left Kunway open. She rolls hard to the rim. She's not known as a player that wants to shoot from range. She's going to get her head on the rim and finish hard, as you can see. Absorbs the contact and can finish like the athletic nature that she has. Ability to get herself to the foul line here. And now a great opportunity for them to set up their half-court containment defense.
The old-fashioned 3-point play. attended Simon Fraser University. That's in Vancouver. 5 points is the margin. Whitcomb outside of Miovic, dials her own number. That was short. Well done, Burton. She's been active throughout the last couple of weeks. Giving the Lynx another go on offense here. Whitcomb ran out of room, ran out of tarmac. They turn it over. Coming the other way, this is Payne. Lavey gets back. Well done, Payne. A little step through and a kind roll for her. Biggest lead of the game now. 7 points, 15 plays 8.
Time for a little bit of composure here. Getting the ball through sets of hands for the Lynx is important.
Whitcomb looking to operate off the bounce, into the paint, fouled. And she'll go to the line to shoot 2 from the charity stripe. The Lynx' intention on offense, clear. Get the ball to Sammy.
Well, more importantly, Matt, they were able to get the ball reversed from one side to the other, shift that defense a little bit so it enables her to get into a driving lane and seam and be able to create for herself or for one of the spot-up shooters. This Lynx team has multiple playmakers. You've got Lavey, Whitcomb and Edmondson out there on the floor that can all create, and when you've got spot-up shooters like Miovic and Whitcomb, tough to defend.
It's like having a backcourt full of Swiss Army knives next. It's going to be effective. Here come the Spirit now. 5 points is their lead. Here comes Griffin. Upstairs again. The second chance for the old-fashioned three-point play for the Spirit. And the veteran in Griffin getting up, drawing the foul.
So this is where the challenge lies now for the Lynx. Giving up 17 points halfway through the first quarter. They're known as a team that loves to get up and get disruptive, pressure the ball, but in the same token, they've just given up a couple of early transition buckets and sent the Spirit to the foul line too much, too early.
Whitcomb had Lee cutting baseline, was ignored. Over to Lavey now. Down to 12 to shoot now for the home side. Well done, Lavey. The hesitation dribble. Bounce pass out to Lee from the wing. Her jump shot hasn't been there throughout the season. Well done, Miovic. Kept the ball alive. Great hustle. Out to Whitcomb. She had a bit of airspace. Elected not to pull the trigger. Goes in to the mid-block and waved off, says Steve DeConza, much to the disappointment of the raucous crowd. The personal foul called on Dietrich, her first. 14 fouls on the Lynx, 3 now on the Spirit as a substitution for the visitors in Oliver checks into the ball game.
And on the third occasion now, Sammy Whitcomb has had the ability to be able to get past her opponent, get herself to the rim, and get herself to the foul line. On that occasion, the points waved off. But what an ability she has. The composure to be able to finish and be under control, as well as stretching the opposition out from her ability to be able to knock down shots from the perimeter.
8 points the margin. Bendigo with the early ascendancy. Let's head into the team huddle and head coach Andy Stewart addressing his charges.
You're going to sag over here. And then you end up running from over here trying to block a shot. Not one person sag. Why? We talk about it, we do it, we go through it, we understand it, everybody knows, everybody stays with their girl. Over here, doing nothing. Why? We have a game plan. If we read the side, we sag the floor. Got it? She rolls to the hoop, gets the layup. Get over. Steal the ball. Stop worrying about your girl. See the reds happening. You know they're going to pass the ball. Get in here and steal it. Don't play again. Hey, you just score over you. We don't need to push in. We make them score over us. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, keep running.
Nik Lacovic, your take on Andy Stewart's timeout?
Just reinforcing their principles and their scout on the opposition right here. Everything has been off the bounce and to the rim. They've been a little bit late in rotations, and he's pleading with the girls just to make sure that they try to shoot over contested hands. You can see already, Matt, they're 70% from the field, the Spirit, 7 from 10 from the field, and 7 from 9 from two-point field goal. 14
to 2 points in the paint in favour of the Spirit. They're getting close looks and they're effective. How will the Lynx respond to this early challenge? They haven't really seen it on their home floor so far. 3 straight wins. Into Miovic, guarded by Richards, outside to Lavey. Eyes off the 3, long. Well done, Miovic. Her hustle's been exemplary in the early stages. Left-hand jump hook. She was impeded. Will go to the line, shooting 2. Better execution this time for the Lynx.
And an advantage here for the Lynx is their ability now to get themselves to the foul line early in this first quarter. A great effort. second chance opportunity for the Lynx created by Mijovic. She's up against Richards, who isn't the most athletic forward or centre in this competition. So she has an advantage there if she can face her up and stretch her away from the basket.
75% of the season, rattles home the second. 2 of 2 for Mijovic. Cuts the lead back to 6 points now in favour of Bendigo. A little bit of extended pressure now from the Lynx. Griffin under the watchful eye of Whitcomb. Richards now. Right at the top of the paint, outside. It was almost a travel from Harrington. Kicks it into the short corner, little pull-up jumper, not over the arm of Mijovic. Great defensive play. Something that she's worked hard on in the off-season. Carly Mijovic, her footwork in particular.
Great job in contesting that shot.
Lee couldn't get her jumper to fall from 18 feet. Here comes Harrington down the other way, and again Mijovic. Not sure if she'll be credited with the block, but affected that one, no doubt. 6 points the margin. Mijovic showing off the handle. Outside now with Whitcomb. Guarded by Heather Oliver, just gets past her, fouled and won. And Sammy Whitcomb is starting to heat up in this first term.
They have no answer for Whitcomb. 12 points in the first quarter already, Matt, of the Lynx's 14 points. They need to make an adjustment. They've tried a couple of different matchups right now, and that's why she leads the WNBL in scoring. So many different ways have been able to finish.
And the Spirit ringing in the changes. Raincock Okunwe was having a breather, immediately put back onto the floor. Well, this is for the third three-point play of the game, and it's successful. Back to 3 points, so the Lynx have responded since that timeout. Here comes Griffin into the front court, double team. Tries to find the cutting Nadine Payne, had it blocked, return to sender. The Lynx turning it up now. Levy tries to push the tempo. Outside to Whitcomb, wouldn't ride her off from here, no chance of that missing. Bang. Nothing but net, splashes from downtown. 15 points, still 3 minutes remaining in this opening term.
That's ridiculous, that's how good that is. The ability to be able to get her feet set, square up the shoulders. She is locked in and knocking everything down right now, Matt.
And that basket, we'll wait to see if it's going to count. No, before the shot. And the Lynx fans breathe a sigh of relief. Nadine Payne was fouled on her way to the cup. 5 team fouls apiece, so automatic 2 shots now for both sides. And Nat Burton checks out. I've liked her hustle in the early stages of the game, Nick.
She's been extremely aggressive defensively, been able to run the floor, contain the forwards for the Spirit. She came in early to make sure they did a job on being able to contain Raincock Okunwe, was active, been able to deflect a few passes and contest some shots out there, which enables the Lynx to get out in their strength, which is in transition.
Former under-17 for Australia, Nadine Payne goes 2 of 2. Part of that team that finished 7th in France a few seasons back. Here comes Levy. The Spirit by 2. They were out by 8. Edmondson. Trying to look for the off-ball action there for Whitcomb. Only 6 to shoot now. Mijovic, pump fake, step back 3 on the way. Just a little short. Edmondson got a valuable piece of the ball. Hamlin, she looked to kick it out to Whitcomb. Realised she was all alone under the basket and finishes with the left hand.
Great composure, the balance to be able to gather that and finish with the left hand.
And a tied ball game. Credit to the Lynx, they fought back. Here comes Payne again. Well done, Whitcomb. That's another steal, her 20th of the season. She leads the league in that category. Eyed off the 3. And bounce pass was a little forced. Well done there to Heather Oliver getting up in the passing lane. Inside 2 minutes remaining of the opening quarter here. Round 7, top of the table clash. Payne from deep, knocks down the 3, something on the baseline. And it looks as though the 3 points will count. Adrian DeConza makes his way over and indicates the personal foul, I believe, on Tony Edmondson.
And that's what someone like Raincock Okunwe does. You have to put a body on her because of her athletic ability to be able to crash the glass. She just hovers around the rim, waiting for shots to go up and crash.
When was the last time you saw a 5-point play? Because the 3 went in. Because of the team fouls, we're not going to get it now. We could get a 4-point play as Okunwe leaves that first one short. So a costly foul off the ball as Okunwe tries to make amends. And that one didn't hit the iron. An air ball. Well, that's a little rare from one of the best players in the WNBL.
Matt, I know we've talked about it pre-game, but she is unbelievable. Sammy Whitcomb, so far 16 of 20 points, finding ways to put her team in front by knocking down big-time shots, and another ability to blow past the defender and finish at the rim.
18 points for Sammy Whitcomb, folks. You are witnessing something very special tonight. Oh, well done, Edmondson. Slapped the ball away from Dietrich. And that's lost valuable seconds off that shot clock now, which winds down to single figures. Outside now, this is Payne. Into the corner now, Dietrich. Left it short. Well done. Kept the ball alive. And the jumper from the wing unsuccessful as well. Well done, Mijovic on the glass. She averages 7 per game in the WNBL. Levy out to Whitcomb. Could we get 20 points in a term? Out to Hamblin. 10 to shoot now for the Lynx. Levy looks to operate on the on-ball screen. Out to Hamblin with a pick and pop, and it was intercepted. Well done. Raincock-Okunwe coming the other way now. Just blows past Mijovic. Kisses it off the window coast to coast. That gives a 3-point buffer now for the visiting Spirit. 40 seconds to play in this opening term. Whitcomb inside to Mijovic was impeded by Nadine Payne. And she'll get 2 shots as the visitors over the foul limit.
Entertainment plus in this first quarter. Action at both ends of the floor. You've got Whitcomb in the half court, knocking down perimeter shots. Then you have Raincock-Okunwe grabbing steals, deflection, rebounds at both ends of the floor and being able to push it off the bounce and get to the rim in transition.
Sammy Whitcomb in 9 minutes 22, 18 points.
Matt,
1 board.
There are no words for how incredible she has been in this opening quarter.
Mijovic, the carbon copy, switching both attempts. You would suggest 2 possessions remaining in this term. Raincock-Okunwe has it in the short corner, guarded by Hamblin. Looks to back her down over the top with a left-hand finish. No dice. And the shot clock switched off. Will they hold for 1? No, because Sammy goes from downtown. 21 points. Sammy Whitcomb in the opening term.
You cannot be serious. We are witnessing what greatness is truly about in the women's WNBL.
Now, she hit a buzzer beater on the last game at home. Just seeing to see where she is at half court. Can Levy repeat it? No. Elected not to fire from beyond half court. The Sammy Whitcomb show, ladies and gentlemen, 21 points. Top of the table clash, you wouldn't expect anything less. 27 points apiece. Nik Lacovic blown away.
Matt, what an opening quarter by Whitcomb. The fans and us can barely believe what we have just witnessed. 21 points of the 27 have come off her back.
7 of 7 from the field, including, Nick, 4 of 4 from the Land of Plenty.
She has been elite. We know why she leads the competition in scoring, but her energy and her work rate at both ends of the floor is as good as I've ever seen in this competition.
Well, let's see how the Spirit respond. We'll head into their team huddle.
Let's go. Now, 4 loose balls. You've done a good job. Like, she's unconscious at the moment. You haven't done a terrible job. She's hit everything. That will cool off. Just persevere with that. Now, once she gives it up, though, right, we're not in help with her. Once she gives it up, you stay on her. She doesn't get the ball back. Is that clear? For the perimeter, who's on her at the time? All right? Now, offensively, stay with our stuff. It's ball movement and player movement. It's not an individual taking the ball to the rack. Okay, trust that. That cuts, dribble entries, dribble exits to keep things moving. Okay? Allow things to keep moving. They haven't trapped the corner, so corner's on. You can dribble to the corner, you can push to the corner to get ourselves started. Okay? All right? Okay. Now, boards and loose balls would have been 4 more possessions and we'd have 31 points. Okay? All right. I think some of our mid-range shots get some height in there all flat. Okay? All right. 3, 2, 1.
And that was the head coach there of the Bendigo Spirit, Simon Pritchard.
Just reinforcing to continue to persevere with what they've done. He has to be impressed and happy with what they've done on the offensive end. And notely telling the girls that Whitcomb is unconscious right now. Stick to the game plan. Matt, we've got 2 excellent running teams here. The Lynx love to push it. the Spirit have done the same thing in the opening quarter. It's going to be a battle of who can do it for longer periods right now.
The Lynx getting the job done on the glass. 11 rebounds to 6 in that term. However, Bendigo, 18 points in the paint. So that's balanced out by Sammy Wickham's 21 points. Smijovic, can she get going? No. Oh, Sammy Wickham, who else? Wide open three. You knew the result, ladies and gentlemen. 24 points, 20 seconds into the second term for Sammy Wickham.
I hope the City of Perth and every fan watching this coverage and in this gym really appreciates what is happening and unfolding in front of our eyes.
Richards, bounce pass, another steal for Sammy. This would be for 26 points. And now the Lynx have the biggest lead of their game so far, 5 points, 32-27.
We are watching an MVP performance for the ages at both ends of the floor. The amount of energy and her ability to be able to get out defensively, to be able to pressure, run the floor and finish, as we saw on that occasion. There's no one like it in the competition.
Tony Edmondson called for the foul, the first team foul of this second term. 32-27. Matt Cecins, Nik Lacovic and Mark Cometti joining you here as there is another whistle and 2 early fouls. That'll need to be rectified. You don't want to be putting a team like the Spirit on the foul line early, Nick. They were 6 of 8 in that first term.
No, and the number one aspect right now for the Lynx, which Stuart no doubt keeps emphasising with his team, is to contain them and keep them out of the paint. They love attacking, they love slashing. Test them from the perimeter right now, Matt, and they haven't hit one so far. Right on cue.
Yeah, another miss. Wickham with the rebound. Stuffing the stat sheet. Looks to operate, step back three, and she still has not missed.
She just took a look down the sideline, shrugged her shoulders like it was that Jordan moment in the playoffs against Portland, saying, I can't believe it myself.
29 points, she's 10 of 10 from the field. Griffin upstairs, fouled, and we'll get 2. 3 team fouls now. We're not a minute and a half in. Have a look at this, Nick. Down the floor, bit of a mismatch with Raincock Okunwe, and just goes with the, well, dare I say it, that had shades of Steph Curry, that step-back jumper.
Tell me which player, not only in the WNBL, but in the NBL, can create a shot like that off the bounce. Crossover, behind the back, step back, pull-up three with a defender on them.
I think the closest one is a gentleman that resides in Adelaide.
You know, the only injustice right now is that there's not 13,000 people in this stadium witnessing this.
Griffin knocks it down. 8.5 to play in this second term. If you just joined us, Sammy Wickham has 29 points.
12 minutes into the game.
Levy looking to operate. Single figures now on that 24-second shot clock. Levy, can she emulate Wickham's step back? No. Lee getting down, hustling, trying to keep the ball alive. Hamlin gets away with a foul. Collared Griffin, there was no call. Here comes Harrington. Past Wickham, off the window, too strong. Well done, Smijovic, been active on the glass, and the reach-in foul from Karen Harrington. That is the first team foul for the visiting Spirit. 3 team fouls already for the Lynx. 6 points to the margin.
Great acknowledgement there, Matt, on the ability of what Smijovic is doing in keeping Raincock Okunwe off the glass in that possession, and something that they'll need to continue to do to gain an advantage in this game. They're 6 points clear right now. As long as they take care of the ball and continue to dominate the glass, they're in a good spot.
We might have to hit the record books at half-time to see what the game high is in the WNBL. Lee, a long-range 3, did a lap, popped out. Okunwe on the glass.
Last 2 possessions, Whitcomb hasn't had a touch. They're face guarding her and not allowing her to get any touches right now.
Into Richards, went up, heavy contact, no whistle. Smijovic again, sweeping the glass for the home side. Smijovic, given airspace, that was long. Oh, well done, Wickham, an offensive rebound. Panic stations. You can sense it in the Spirit when this lady has the ball in her hands. Looking to operate on Griffin and draws the foul. I guess that's the only one that they can guard her at the moment is by impeding her.
But she didn't get a touch the last 2 possessions down. So you know what she does? She goes and grabs an offensive rebound. Dribbles it out, takes a larger defender out to the perimeter like a Griffin in this situation. Shakes and bakes a few times, looks to take her off the bounce and be aggressive. And now gets herself, hopefully, soon to the foul line.
On that replay, it looked as though Griffin was in a popcorn machine. She was leaping left, right, and centre. Shake and bake from Sammy. Smijovic catches out high. Lovely pass inside the league. Can she operate? Well, she's missed her last couple. She's trying to force the issue now. Going back the other way. Nice work, Blake Dietrich. Formerly of the Seattle Storm, just off the window. That is good for 2.
Good athletic, strong move in transition, Matt.
Keisha Lee to Wickham. Retreats out beyond the long line. 8 seconds to shoot. They go for the isolation. Wickham comes left with a dribble. Fouled again. Will go to the line and shoot 2.
And here's the danger now with the Spirit. They put a bigger defender on her. She just stretches her out, as you see in the replay here, bounces her back outside the perimeter, gives her a little inside out, crosses over and gets herself to the foul line. The ability to be able to finish at the rim and from beyond the arc.
Sammy Wickham, 76%. And the Lynx are 7 of 7 this evening. Make that 8 of 8.
And her 30th point for the night.
From Ventura, California. Home of the 2 trees. Up on the hill. Gets another one to rattle home. Raincock Kunway, she was influential early. Before being overshadowed by this marvellous performance from Sammy Wickham. 10 to shoot now for Bendigo. Richards guarded by Miovic. Outside, Karatiana, skip pass. Plenty of rotation on the shot. Well done, Edmondson. Just palmed it down like an AFL ruckman. Off to the teammate. Here comes Levy. Retreats out. Could have had a look at a wide open 3. Edmondson bounces it inside to Burt. A little left out of the hand. Well done, Miovic. As we said earlier, averaging 7 boards per game. Burt trying to force it down low to Sammy. And there was Blake Dietrich to pick it off. Coming back the other way. She's already had one of these. Make it 2.
Wow.
Speed in transition from Blake Dietrich, and a timeout from Andy Stewart. Clearly not happy, because that lead now, Nick, cut to 4 points.
An impressive finish by Dietrich, but more impressive was the ability to be able to get the deflection. She's had the job right here on Whitcomb for the last 3 or 4 minutes, and she's done a very serviceable job.
Well, Andy Stewart called the timeout. Let's hear what he has to say.
Guys, I'll tell you the key is to get boards, all right? When the ball goes up, everybody's involved, everybody. Even if you can just stand next to somebody that's making a contribution. To the dip low wheel, all right? You set You got it?
All right, not the clearest audio, unfortunately. Nick, 37 to 33. Almost halfway through this second term.
Matt, we're witnessing, by no surprise, why these 2 teams are first and second positioned in the WNBL. You know, you've got the Spirit, who are an elite rebounding team. They dominate their opponents by +9 on the glass, and Andy Stewart, I think, is asking for his team to continue to throw bodies at them to wear them down.
High quality game. Both teams shooting over 45% from the field. Wickham, that's her first miss. In and out. Hamblin, well, half the rebounding contest. That went to Gabrielle Richards. Bendigo, that's the first time they've seen Wickham come up empty from an offensive play. Bounce pass was lovely from Richards. And Karatiana travelled, and she went up, lost the handle, came back with the ball. That is a violation. Lynx, again, disruptive on the defensive end of the floor.
And their strength, you know, being able to apply pressure on the perimeter when you've got Hamblin back there and Miovic right now. A little bit of rim protection.
As we approach the midway point of this second term. Lynx looking to extend their 4-point lead.
And a different look right now. Oliver on Whitcomb.
And they force her to pass outside to Miovic. Yes, from the top. Straight away 3. Thing of beauty from Carly Miovic.
And now in the situation, you can see they got the switch. Oliver had to switch off the on-ball to Miovic. Miovic stepped back, given the airspace, knocked it down.
Karatiana finds Richards at the elbow, extended. Karatiana long on the 3. Rising high was Nadine Payne. This is Dietrich, And she lost the handle, bounced it off her thigh. Another turnover for the Spirit as they make a substitution. Ashley Spencer into the ball game for the first time. Attended Hannibal LaGrange University, that's in Missouri. Sees her first action.
Oliver again getting the responsibility on Whitcomb. Looks like they're going to be rotating multiple numbers on her.
Miovic, oh, the athletic finish just fell a little short of the mark. You know what a deadly threat she is from the perimeter, trying to extend another bow to her game. Dietrich. Well done, Whitcomb. She got a fair piece of that. She looks to come back the other way now. 3-on-3 briefly. Miovic in transition. Loads the three, short. Well done, Edmondson. Another offensive rebound. Almost fouled. Oh, that should have been a travel. Outside to Miovic now. 10 to shoot. Whitcomb. Looking to operate on Spencer. Gets to the foul line. Outside to Levy. Only 3 to shoot. Travelled. She sensed the urgency and lifted her pivot foot before putting the ball to the floor. Better defensive set that time, despite giving up the offensive rebound for the visiting Spirit.
The only thing happening right now is there seems to be a little bit of ball watching going on. One player has it, they're trying to create a lot for themselves or for their teammate. Not a lot of movement for the Lynx, and a much needed rest for Sammy Whitcomb. Her first substitution in the game with 3:51 remaining in the second quarter.
And the fans showing their appreciation, and so they should. 31 points, effectively to half-time. Griffin outside to Dietrich. Forces it down low. That's a nice move. Ashley Spencer off the window.
This is actually a good time for the Lynx here without Whitcomb out there. I feel like somebody needs to step up, but they have to do it collectively as a group rather than looking for Whitcomb too much.
Miovic looking for that straightaway three again. Couldn't get the last result. Griffin has to kick out. They swing it around up to the top. Off the hands there of Hamblin. They'll get another bite of the cherry now, the visitors. And out of court, Karatiana stepping out right in front of the Bendigo Spirit bench, and another turnover.
And that lets them off the hook. You can't leak out against the Spirit. The leading rebounding team in the competition on that occasion. Edmondson leaked out after contesting the shot, and they were able to come up with the offensive rebound.
Sammy Whitcomb's just checked in after a 45-second rest. 2 possessions effectively. 5 points the margin. Exactly 3 minutes remain in the second term. Lee hasn't really found her range as yet. Whitcomb barking out the instructions. Inside to that elbow to Miovic. Near side. Goes to the fall away jumper. Unsuccessful. Rebound claimed by Payne. Karatiana near side. Down inside. That is a polished finish. Ashley Spencer, cool head, kissing it off the window.
And an impressive ability to be able to grab a defensive rebound, advance it on 2 passes for a layup. The Spirit love to run just like the Lynx.
And they've kept a cool head under the basket in transition. Dietrich being one, and the other, Ashley Spencer. 3 points now, that lead for the Lynx. Edmondson, the in-out dribble, up high, the tall fern. Great work there. Tony Edmondson pushes the lead back to 5. Griffin out to the top in Spencer. They swing it around to Karatiana. Short corner in Payne. Back to Karatiana. They double her. Found a cutting Payne. Went upstairs. Had a block by Hamblin. One of the best in the WNBL, the Canadian Hammer. Return to sender. Edmondson almost walked. Whitcomb driving left. High off the window. 33 points now for Sammy.
Just a beautiful wing isolation. She pulls through, be able to get head and shoulders past her a defender, and then the poise and the ability to be able to finish.
The volleyball spike from Hamblin went upstairs, punched it into the floor. They might need a spatula to retrieve that basketball. That was spiked.
On back-to-back possession, Hamblin influencing the game on the defensive end. A phenomenal job defensively there by Ruth.
And she checks out of the game, as does Keisha Lee. And Tony Edmondson makes her way off the floor. So Levy, Burton, Ashley Grant gets her taste of first action. Miovic and Whitcomb for the home side in the red jerseys. Interesting inbounds pass from the Spirit. Whitcomb gambled, didn't pay off. Outside, Griffin loads the three, good.
And she has done that more this season than in the past. She has become more of a spot-up shooter. They're going to have to contest that now and close out hard against her.
The Spirit won't lay down, back to 4 points. Whitcomb outside to Grant. In the hands of Levy now. Wickham doesn't use the pick, just pulls the trigger on a three. It was short. Here comes Dietrich going the other way. She's provided a lot of spark in transition. Couldn't get it to go this time. Levy collects the shovel pass. Coming the other way now, inside the final minute of this second term. Burton. They swing it to Wickham. She rips through, going baseline. Walking the tightrope. Out to Levy.
But the ability to be able to put it on the floor, get past two defenders, make a one-handed hook pass to find the open shooter in Levy is just so impressive from Whitcomb.
Dietrich right in front of the head coach. They look for the high-low action. And Kunway had a bit of space going towards the basket. Tipped out of bounds off a red hand. And will stay down that end of the floor. And Simon Pritchard wants to draw up one final possession. 15 seconds the differential between game and shot. So all things going well, the Lynx should get the final shot of this second half. We head on over to the Bendigo Spirit team huddle. Let's hear from the head coach, Simon Pritchard.
Inside and out, right? And right out to the corner and put yourself right in the baseline so we can pass you the ball. Now, then it's a swing down. Nio, you're swinging down, Naz, you're coming up. If it needs to go down to there, that's fine. Go to shooting the three. All right? Now, we don't need that court coverage. If we shoot it out, it will have 4 seconds. All right? So guards, light your ass and get ball pressure. Get back. No, we'll take the shot. We'll take the shot. 1, 2, 3.
Former Perth Wildcat Nik Lacovic, take us through the timeout.
Well, tough to kind of exactly hear what Coach Pritchard is trying to diagram, but he's certainly got a specific player in mind that wants to get the possession in this last one, and emphasising the fact to make sure they get back in defensive transition and don't allow the Lynx any easy last-second shots to close out the half.
15 seconds at differential. The early three from the corner, off hands, out of bounds, Lynx ball. And one final possession of this half for the Perth Lynx, trying to extend the 4-point lead.
And a great change up there by Coach Stewart. Showed a zone off that baseline out of bounds play just to keep the Spirit on their toes.
Wickham gets the ball over the timeline. 12 seconds now, remaining in the second. Down to 7. Wickham shakes and bakes to the lane. Oh, the circus shot didn't drop. Off hands, personal foul. Andy Stewart slaps his hands to his thighs in frustration. Won't put Bendigo on the line. That's the 4th team foul now for the Lynx. No one in real foul trouble. In fact, there is, because Nat Burton has just ticked over a 3rd personal foul. So Ashley Grant comes back in. And another bite of the cherry for the Bendigo Spirit. And they get to draw up what effectively is the final possession. 3.3 seconds remaining. And we'll stay down in the team huddle at the moment as we watch Wickham's almost circus shot. Let's head on over to the Bendigo huddle.
Okay. Right, you two. Wait to that side. Kelsey, you're coming up here and turning back for your halfway shot. You'll have 3 seconds. All right, so you're coming back. Fake to that, Nads. She's coming back from here, turn in the middle, shoot your shot from halfway, see what you get.
Hey, Simon, these two players, once you go, you can come this way as well.
We don't get away, just get away. 3, 2, 1.
Every possession so critical, Matt. Even with 3.3 seconds to go, utilising his last time out, at least trying to get a shot attempt up here, could be the difference between winning and losing this game.
The Lynx play extended pressure here, Nick.
Yeah, Hamblin, the larger one on the ball here, to be able to contest and make it a harder inbounds pass here.
3.3 ticks of the clock before the main break. Griffin, in game 100, can she do the near impossible? No. Had the length, but it missed wide left. Half time, chance to take a breather in what is an enthralling top of the table contest. 44-40, the Lynx in control. Sammy Wickham, 33 points in the first half. And Griffin with 10 leading the way for the Bendigo Spirit. Mark Cometti, our sideline reporter, has got the lady of the hour, Sammy Wickham. Mark.
Yes, boys, of course, I'm here. 33 points in the first half, Sammy. That's going to be one of the best first halves in all WNBL history, if not the best. How did it feel to be in that type of zone?
Yeah, it felt really good, obviously. But more than anything, you know, defense has kind of been our focus going into this game. So when we put a lot of emphasis on that, it kind of lets you free to play on offense.
And I saw you, once you started to get that attention, you really started finding the girls with the attention that you were getting, especially when you're driving into the key. How do you think that helped get the girls involved towards the end of the half?
Yeah, well, look, it's National League. We've got really good players on our team. It's not like state leagues where it's one player. So if they're going to do that, I'm happy to pass the ball to Carly. I'm happy to pass it to the other girls and get them open. We've seen them do the same type of thing scoring-wise, so it makes my job actually a lot easier if they want to throw that much attention.
Yeah, and still only a 4-point game, so what adjustments do you think you need to make in the second half?
Probably rebounds and possessions. We need to not give them anything easy. They crash really hard, and we need to make sure that they get one tough shot, and then run out the other way.
And how are you feeling gas tank-wise after that performance?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Now, the coach in the meeting during this week likened you to a machine. He said your competitiveness in absolutely everything, even to finish dinner first, is he's very impressive. Now, I'm looking at the Kobe's on your feet, and obviously the performance just then. Would you be opposed to us starting to call you the blonde mamba?
Yes, I would. Very much.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm very sure.
I
think Cecins can come up with something better, more creative. Come on.
Thanks.
Thanks to Mark and Sammy Whitcomb. A wry look over us here, putting me on the spot.
Back to you, boys.
Yeah, thanks for that, Mark. Nik Lacovic is furiously running his thumb over some of the stats. We've already been through Sammy Whitcomb's performance. 33 points. She's 11 of 14 from the field, 6 of 8 from downtown. The other numbers that jump off the page for you currently, Nick?
Well, I mean, the key indicator, and you heard Sammy emphasising it, was to make sure that they were able to win the rebound count. This is a team in the Bendigo Spirit that dominate their opponents on the glass. They're in front marginally right now, 23-20. They have a +3 there. They're taking care of the ball. Both teams are only at 6 turnovers for the game. So it really comes down to making sure you can keep a team like the Spirit off the foul line. 8 for 10 from the free throw line, 9 for 9 for the Lynx. So now it just comes down to the offensive execution and the efficiency. The Lynx have had the advantage purely because of the performance that Sammy Whitcomb was able to give the Lynx in the first half.
One category that the Spirit have a clear advantage in, Nick, is the points in the paint at the moment. They're getting easy looks around the basket.
Yeah, and that's off the back of the Lynx' poor defensive transition, mainly in the first quarter. They were able to get it. You saw the strength of someone, the athletic nature that Raincock Akunwe has, to be able to catch and go, push it in transition and finish. You know, Harrington has that ability as well. She can finish on both sides of her body, and Griffin's a tough finisher around the rim. She does everything really, really well. So containing the ball and forcing the Spirit to have to shoot the ball from the perimeter is the one area right now where they haven't been efficient at. They're 2 for 9 from the three-point line.
Carly Mijovic's impact on the game, just 1 of 10. However, her effectiveness on the glass, Nick, has been a feature. 3 offensive rebounds, 7 boards in total this evening.
And to go along with that, 2 block shots. To be able to contest and change the shots on the perimeter and coming into the keyway is a strength that Mijovic is now adding to her game.
Time for a quick breather for us, Nick. We'll be right back with all the action in the second half. As we welcome you back to the Bendigo Basketball Centre, it is about to go for the third term, the beginning of the third term. Sammy Whitcomb, 33 points
Matt,
at halftime.
An incredible performance. Her career high is 36. She's beaten her season high, which was 29, and she's going for the record, which is 54 points, held by Belinda Snell. Let's go have a look at some of her numbers. 11 for 14 from the field at 78%. She's 6 for 8 from the land of plenty, 5 for 5 from the foul line, 4 boards and 3 steals. But the other impressive one is the 6 fouls drawn. Taking players off the bounce, getting herself to the foul line, which is important for her to be able to take a bit of pressure off from her perimeter game. Just an unbelievable performance.
Nick, I'll pose a question to you. Is the 13-0 bench scoring points a concern, even though Sammy Whitcomb's had 33 to halftime?
Well, it would be a concern, absolutely. The fact that, you know, the Spirit are rotating players, and the emphasis is to rotate players onto Whitcomb to try to grind her down and limit her touches as much as possible. And while those players are coming in to do that, they're also being a little bit effective at the other end of the floor for the Spirit. So that's a positive and a plus for them. It's going to be an interesting scenario to see which two teams here are going to be able to play at this pace for longer. We're
live on Lynx TV. Thanks again to LMSC for providing the stream this evening. Sammy Whitcomb, can she make history? 33 points. The league record is 54. Mijovic, Levy, Edmondson, Whitcomb and Hamblin to start for the home team. They're attacking the basket to your right. And a travelling violation on the inbounds. I've never seen that.
So, yeah, you're not allowed to run the sidelines on a dead ball situation at half court like that. Only on a made basket from the baseline.
All right, so a turnover, not the ideal start, obviously, for the Spirit. 44-40. Lynx looking for 4 straight at home. And 5 straight for the streak. Mijovic is only 1 of 11 so far. Whitcomb, the offensive board to Edmondson. Little pump fake in the corner. Back to Mijovic. Inside to Hamblin. Room to operate. Just goes with a face-up Jay, and it's good for 2.
The ability to be able to square up, have a look at the defence, and keep the ball up nice and high. Good start there for Hamblin.
Kunway looking for options. Has to put the ball on the deck. To the foul line. Out to Griffin. Game 100 for the Spirit. Kunway, well, that's rare. She missed right in front of the basket. Mijovic has her hands up. She knows she is the culprit. First team foul, and Mijovic now has 2 for the ball game. The only foul trouble for the Lynx, Nat Burton has 3 personal fouls to half-time. There's a bevy of players for the Spirit on 2 personal fouls. Karayatana inbounds. Out now to Harrington. Griffin now. 8 to shoot for Bendigo. Karayatana, and she is fouled by Whitcomb, trying to reach in. 2nd personal foul for her. 2 team fouls.
That's the one that Sammy's going to be disappointed with. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Lots of ball pressure. She got her hands caught in the cookie jar on that occasion.
Indeed. So a fresh 14 to shoot now for the visitors. And Richards with a fend off. And she's been fouled. Tony Edmondson whistled for her 3rd personal foul, so joins Burton in that category. And we haven't even played a minute. As we have a look at the replay, definitely there as she reached in. And already the Lynx in 3 team fouls.
Yeah, with under a minute of play so far, so they're going to have to make an adjustment here. The officials are starting to call things a little bit touchy here in the second half.
Griffin had a wide open look, ignored that. Instead goes for the almost Dirk Nowitzki-like pull-up on the one leg. Off the glass is good for 2. First basket of the 3rd term.
The off-balance step back off the non-preferred.
Edmondson drives into the heart of the paint. Ran into the Bendigo defence. Has to give it out to Mijovic. 8 to shoot now. Guarded by Kunway. Has to put the ball on the floor. Coming right. Looks to fend off with a left-hand leaner and finally gets something to go.
She starts adding that part to her game. She becomes a very complete player. We know her ability to be able to knock down shots from the perimeter, and now be able to operate off the bounce and finish around the rim is a tough commodity to defend.
Griffin replies. 48-44. Almost a box and one. set up on defence for the Spirit as they are face guarding Whitcomb off the ball. Miovic inside to Hamlin, 6 to shoot. Edmondson from downtown, long, caught 2 pieces of the iron and spilled off the rim. Spirit looking to bite into this 4-point lead of the Lynx. Richards, pass deflected out of bounds, and Whitcomb shaking her head because she left the ball. Probably could have grabbed that and come up with a steal, and that will allow Bendigo to have possession from the baseline. 11 seconds. Karatiana inbounds. Harrington. Karatiana over Hamlin. That's no mean feat. Was short, and a foul on the pass. Ashley Karatiana just reaching in there and catching a piece of Hamlin's arm. So the personal foul on her. And that'll be her first personal foul. 3 team fouls to 1 in the third term.
And the Spirit have made some considerable adjustments. You can see now another substitution coming into the game. But the possession before, Matt, you described it perfectly. They were almost in a box-and-1 situation. 1 player defending Whitcomb and the other 4 in a help position. Let's see how they keep changing up their defence to keep the Lynx guessing. And it's stopping their ball movement. The rest of the girls are going to have to play.
Well, they sagged off the pick and roll, and that allowed Levy a clean look, but she couldn't make the defence pay. Karatiana down this near side now with Griffin. 4 points to margin, 3 minutes travelled, third term. Karatiana looking to operate on Levy, had it slapped out of her hands. 3-on-1 coming the other way. Levy, the quarterback, dumps it off to Whitcomb off the window. 35 for Sammy.
And that started on the defensive end there by Levy. Active hands, getting the deflection and steal, enabling them to get out and run in transition. A strength of the Lynx basketball.
Another poor pass allows Levy to come up with a steal. Coming back the other way. Drives to the nail. Outside now to Edmondson. Just blows past her opponent. Couldn't get the finish. Pace of the game is upped. Nice look inside from Griffin to Akunwe. Had it blocked by Miovic, her third of the ball game.
She does such a great job of sealing and holding and owning position down there. Was able to gather that pass. But the ability of Miovic to be able to recover and contest and block that shot, a strength of her game now, which has improved dramatically.
Bit of a scrappy start to this third term for both teams, Nick.
Yeah, you would expect that. They would have gone in the locker room at halftime, talked about a number of things and made some adjustments.
Andy Stewart is going through things with Ryan Petrick, the assistant coach. Let's head into the team huddle of the Lynx.
You have a tough night. What we're going to be doing is the best way ever, because it's going to be a one-way. So you're going to start here, go back there. You guys do it, we're going to go up and then down, and then we come back and see how fast we can go. Are we ready to go?
On the next offense, I want a zipper. Let's get it right, and then I want you to dive into the post. Okay, if you get wide open, shoot it. But if you don't, we're looking at Ruth in the post. Everybody got it? Yep. Where's the ball? Hey, Ryan. Yep. They're both on. Stay connected. Yep, stay connected. But realise you right back more and you've got to cover.
Well, the courtside announcer, Lockie Reed, getting this small but rather vocal crowd onto their feet. Nick, your take on the timeout from Andy Stewart.
Yeah, a tough one, thanks to Lockie, to be able to hear what Coach Stewart was saying, but just emphasising the fact, I think probably to make sure they get a bit of ball movement here, and you might see some post-up dive action for the Lynx down the other end of the floor, maybe using someone like Whitcomb as a bit of misdirection.
Akunwe from Oliver, up the top now, Harrington. Over to Griffin, step back Jay, good. 4 points now the margin. Keisha Lee finds Hamblin at the elbow. 10 to shoot, poor pass from Hamblin. Akunwe has it, and an unsportsmanlike foul, and she had a clear path towards the basket. That might give the visitors a little bit of momentum, Nick.
Yeah, and off the back of a great defensive possession there for the Spirit. Post-up move to Hamlin. She tried to make the cross-court pass, and the athletic ability of Akunwe be able to get out and transition.
Well, Miovic a little stiff because Wickham was actually ahead of the ball, so, and it wasn't a malicious foul. It needs to be a clear path. The officials done a good job tonight. We're not going to rag on them, but Akunwe can get a bit of momentum going now offensively for her as she knocks down the first. And the second one long. So possession now will go back to Bendigo. 4 points the margin. Just under 6 minutes.
See if we get another travel call from the sideline out of bounds here. Hopefully they've learnt their lesson, the Spirit.
In all my years of watching basketball, Nick, I've never seen that before. Griffin out the top now. Long way from home for Akunwe. The dribble handoff. Out to Griffin. They've used 10 seconds of the clock. Richards fall away from the middle of the paint. Well done, Miovic. She tries to throw the touchdown pass to Sammy Wickham, streaking to the basket. 37 now for Sammy.
Impressive pass there. Nice outlet. Whitcomb made a gather and finish in the open floor.
Griffin outside now to Akunwe. Miovic using that large wingspan. Over to Griffin. Impeded there from Hamlin. Did well. Got all the way to the basket. Beat 3 Lynx defenders before finishing.
Back-to-back buckets for Griffin. She's normally loves getting to the rim off the bounce with the right hand. Possession before and able to hit that step back. She's dangerous right now, Griffin. Lynx are going to have to key in on her.
Levy lobs it into Miovic. Off hands. And it'll be a Lynx ball from the baseline.
And Matt, I think Sammy Whitcomb has just beaten her career high. I think if that gives her 37 points...
It is.
She's just broken her career high of 36 points off the back of that transition layup. A new career high for Whitcomb. How much more do we have in store to see?
Hopefully the league record. Top of the table clash. Matt Cecins, Nik Lacovic and Mark Cometti bringing you all the action from the BBC. Whitcomb, shot clock violation and a rare miscue from the Lynx this evening on offense.
The only concern here is how much she used in the first half, and maybe getting her a few brief minutes of rest here could be important for the Lynx. But she has to continue to stay aggressive. Her perimeter game was set up with being able to put the ball on the floor and blow past her defenders.
Ruth Hamblin has checked out. Interesting pivot there. Oh, Whitcomb, could she keep it in? No. Ran out of tarmac. So the Spirit will get the ball from the baseline. 3 points the margin, 4.5 to play in this third term.
Great weak side help there from Whitcomb. Now to read the flight of the ball and get a deflection to that. Enabling the Lynx to set up their half-court defence.
Blake Dietrich onto the floor now for the visiting Spirit. Has the ball now at the top, guarded by Whitcomb. 8 to shoot now for Bendigo. Griffin denied in the corner. They have to swing it around towards the far side. Lovely backdoor cut and the pass. Effective. Heather Oliver off the window. Good for 2.
On the shot clock, buzzer there, Matt.
1 point the margin. Spirit making a fist of this round 7 contest. Miovic trying to go past Payne, lifted her pivot foot surely, got away with a travel, swished the turnaround jumper.
Well, an impressive move there by Miovic, putting the ball on the floor going left, gathering herself and reverse pivoting for a fadeaway jumper.
Richards and the handoff towards Griffin. She was fouled. 5 team fouls now for the Lynx inside 4 minutes, so that will put the Bendigo Spirit on the charity stripe to shoot 2.
And that's the only concern for the Lynx right now. It's 5-1 on the foul count.
So Kelsey Griffin attended the University of Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, from 05 to 2010. In her senior year was the Big 12 Player of the Year. And that drew the attention of WNBA scouts. 3rd pick in the 2010 draft, the Minnesota Lynx, before they traded her services to the Connecticut Sun. And in game number 100 goes 2 of 2. Rain Cocker-Kunway back onto the floor.
Griffin now has 20 points for the game, 10 of them coming in this third quarter, Matt. She's been their most effective player along with Nao Rain Cocker-Kunway.
2-time WNBL champion as well as the grand final MVP. Loves the big stage. Keeping the Spirit in the ball game at the moment. Just 1 point the margin. Edmondson going nowhere, has to retreat, dribble out. 10 to shoot now for the home side. Great on-ball D from Griffin, not allowing the dribble penetration. Over to Whitcomb. What can she do? Only 5 seconds to operate. 3, 2. Was that in the shooting motion?
No.
We can only hope. So before the shot, clearly, it'll be a sideline ball.
It's almost like we're sitting on the edge of our seats waiting to see if she can get to 50 and potentially break Belinda Snell's record. Look at her just pull through here and get past the defender of Oliver right there.
Looked like she was shooting, Nick, surely. My tongue firmly planted in cheek. She has it now, almost lost the handle. Regathered, travelled, yeah. A little too eager to get to the baseline, lifted the pivot foot, and a rare blemish to the stat line now for Sammy Whitcomb. Well, Bendigo can take the lead here. They trail by 1. Dietrich, I've liked her work throughout the evening, particularly in transition. This is Payne, guarded by Grant, outside to Oliver. 8 to shoot for the visitors. Oliver, pull up with the left hand. There is the lead now to the Bendigo Spirit.
A tough move there by Oliver, attacking Whitcomb defensively and making her have to expend some energy on the defensive end of the floor.
Let's see how the Lynx respond now. Edmondson, bounce pass inside to Miovic, who's been fouled. 3rd team foul now for the Bendigo Spirit.
Matt, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Stewart looks to change up his defence here, just to give him a bit of a different look on the next possession down for the Lynx. May show some signs of maybe some zone. They've done it in the past and they've had success against it for short possessions.
Stewart keeping faith in the rookie and Grant to Edmondson. Bumped on the way to the basket. That basket will not count before the foul. So 14 fouls now for the Bendigo Spirit, and Griffin registers her 3rd personal foul. And that was Karatiana.
And that's what Edmondson's going to have to do now, especially with the amount of energy that Whitcomb has expended in that first half. She's going to have to take some of that responsibility and get aggressive.
Lavey elects to go to the fall away, hit the side of the backboard. Not a good option. 3-on-2 coming the other way. Oliver, high pass, did well to control it. Outside now to Dietrich. Karatiana, outside to Akunwe. Faked the little handoff to the cutter, upstairs, couldn't get the layup to go. She has earned herself a trip to the line to shoot 2.
But a good foul there, not giving up a layup. We know Akunwe isn't a great free throw shooter, making her earn the points from the charity stripe.
.76% on the season. Makes good on the first. Born in Toronto. Was a gold medalist in the Americas Championship for Canada back in 2015. 4th in the league in scoring, goes 1 of 2.
And 2 for 6 for the night.
A little down on her regular season clip. So the Lynx get possession. They trail by 2. And Akunwe checks out of the ball game. Lavey, Miovic, Perth Lynx. They've led for the majority of this ball game. However, they find themselves trailing as we approach 2.5 to play in this 3rd term. 6 seconds now for Tony Edmondson to try and work some magic. Ran out of room on the baseline. Lavey, she's been dry throughout the evening. High rebound into the hands of Edmondson. Had it slapped out of her hands. Well done, Karatiana. Dietrich over to Payne. 1 out with Grant. And offensive foul, illegal screen, spotted by Steve DeConza. And it is on Dietrich. So the Perth Lynx catch a little bit of a break there. Here comes Lavey. Edmondson now over to Grant. Back to Lavey. The pass and then the on-ball screen for Lavey. Hit Grant on the roll. Left hand wouldn't go for her and out of court. The Lynx offense stuttering a little as we await the return of Ruth Hamblin back onto the floor for the Perth Lynx, and Ash Grant checks out.
Yeah, offense has dried up, as you mentioned. The last few possessions down the floor, the perimeter defense has been very, very good by the Spirit, forcing players like Edmondson to have to overbounce the ball in that occasion. Grant wasn't able to finish under the rim.
Dietrich outside. Richards, long-range jumper, caught the back of the iron. Miovic lost the handle, but it's come off a Spirit fingernail. The Lynx get the possession. They currently trail by 2. 75 seconds remain in this 3rd term.
Spirit have done a much better job of keeping the ball out of the hands of Sammy Whitcomb.
Interesting putting Akunwe back onto the floor as we approach three-quarter time, Nick.
Defensive possession here, the mobility and the energy she can provide. She's an elite rebounder here on both sides of the floor, and they're going to look to her to come up big defensively.
Speaking of elite athletes, well done Edmondson, down to Hamblin, fouled, going to the line to shoot two. Tony Edmondson's first step, exceptionally quick.
That's the strength of her game, being able to put on the floor in transition. A good decision maker, was able to dribble, draw the big, find Hamblin underneath, and got herself to the free throw line right now.
48% foul shooter. Makes a mockery of it. Nothing but net. Form says she misses the second, Nick. 5th in the WNBL in rebounding, and it's long.
On cue.
A little long. 1 point ball game. Top of the table clash. It's proving to be so. Richards right into the middle of the paint. Out to Griffin. Clean look from downtown. Swish.
Great shot. The ability to be able to get her feet set, and she's doing a lot better job of that this season so far in being more of a perimeter threat for the Spirit.
Wickham. 4 points in this term after 33 in the first half. Lavey. An air ball of a three. Straight into the hands of Richards. And Wickham has hit the floor, Nick. That does not look good. And she is down, clutching at her right leg. Let's hope she's okay. And is grasping and slapping the floor too. We hope that she's all right.
Let's just hope it's a cramp in her right calf and not anything majorly serious. Devastation if it is. Hopefully Whitcomb comes up okay. Looks like it could be a cramp at this stage.
So getting a bit of treatment. Obviously in a bit of distress. Let's hope that is a cramp. Just under 27 seconds remain as the teams huddle up.
And that's a sign of the amount of energy that she put into that first half. She's obviously dehydrated. She's worked extremely hard, and she's the kind of player that works at both sides of the floor.
So hopping off on one leg, the crowd give her a round of applause, and it's making her way off the floor. So Nick, obviously it looks to be cramped, but what does this do now to the makeup of the Lynx team? Because they've relinquished their lead that they've had at half-time. The scores were knotted up at quarter time, and Bendigo, to their credit, have fought back in this third term.
And as you can see here, something that he hasn't done all game. Coach Stewart has gone for a bigger lineup. Mijovic at the 3, Burton and Hamblin in the front court, and in the back court you've got Lavey and Edmondson. Let's see if they can control the tempo here, maybe slow the pace of the ball down and gain some advantage on the inside and put the interior defense under pressure of the Spirit.
Half a second differential between the game and shot clock. Lavey just taking the air out of the ball. Down to 10 seconds to shoot now for the Lynx. Have a clean look at 3. Elects to go inside, only 3 to shoot now. Lavey's dribbled to a dead area in the floor, gets it to Hamblin, beats the clock. That's the way to turn for home. Well, I had my eyebrows raised, Nick. I'm not sure where Tessa Lavey was going with the dribble, but she knew what she was doing the whole time. What a way to end this third term. And we're for a barnstorming end to this round 7 top of the table clash. Great find from Lavey.
A great shovel pass there. She was able to stretch out the taller defender and find the cutting Ruth Hamblin right on the buzzer to tie up this ball game, 59 apiece.
Johnny on the spot. Mark Cometti, our sideline reporter. Mark.
Yes, boys. The trainers are starting to work out a calf cramp on Sammy Whitcomb. They're giving her some electrolytes and some magnesium supplements just to try to get that to release, and working on it feverishly down here. She's still in a lot of pain by the looks of things, so it keeps coming back. But we'll keep you updated with that. Back to you, boys.
Thanks for that, Mark. Right on the spot again for us on the sideline. We'll return for home, Nick. 2 points the margin. The ascendancy back in the hands of the visitors. How does this fourth term play out in your eyes?
Well, it's a tough one here for the Lynx right now. It's hard for somebody like Whitcomb to be able to come back and play in the fourth quarter. Once you've got cramps, it's pretty much night over. Because by the time the muscle starts to cramp like that, no matter how much electrolytes or fluid you get back into the system, it's going to be hard. So they're going to have to make some adjustments on how they play and how they contain Kunway to start with, but also Griffin. She was very, very dangerous for the Spirit in that third quarter.
Let's have a look at some of the numbers here to three-quarter time. Sammy Whitcomb, game high score of 37. Griffin has 23 points for the Spirit. Mijovic, 7 rebounds leading that category. Tessa Lavey has 4 dimes to three-quarter time. The field goal percentage gradually creeping up for the Perth Lynx. They're now at 40% from the field, Nick. However, Bendigo, 22 of 48. And the Lynx doing a better job of reducing that margin of the points in the paint. They've just cut that now to 4 points.
Yeah, they're starting to lose the edge on the rebound count. It was even. They're just down a few right now. That's got to be critical. So maybe playing the bigger lineup, as Coach Stewart has gone back to, is going to be the key here. Controlling tempo. They'd like to still run because that's their strength of what they do. But more importantly right now, it's making sure they limit the Spirit on the glass, their second chance points, which have maybe come off offensive rebounds, but also the containment off the bounce. 4
lead changes and 5 times the ball game has been tied. The Lynx with around 17 minutes with the lead and the Spirit with 12. However, they have the lead right now. That's all that matters, Nick.
Only 3 scorers really for the Lynx. You've got Sammy Whitcomb with 37, Mijovic with 11, and Ruth Hamblin has 7. Tony Edmondson has 2 points. No one else has bothered the stat sheet from a scoring point of view. Whereas you look at the scoring across the board for the Spirit, you know, they have 8 players that have all hit the stat sheet.
Glad you didn't need to use the fingers to count those, Nick. Great job. Here we go, the 4th and final term. Can the Lynx extend their lead on the top of the WNBL tree, or will the Spirit make up ground? Lavey to shake and bake, over to Edmondson. From the elbow, pull-up jumper, good.
And that's what they need. They need more of that. Lavey so far 0 for 7, and Edmondson before that bucket was 1 for 4.
They're going to need to step up with Sammy Whitcomb off the floor, if you've just joined us, with cramps in the right calf.
And here's the change of defense we talked about at the end of the third quarter. They've gone into a 2-3 zone. Now they have to do a better job of cleaning up the glass in this rebound.
Well, the Lynx dodge a bullet because Griffin already hit one from there in the third term, wide open. Misses that, and a foul from Gabrielle Richards underneath the basket. At least sharing a laugh with Carly Mijovic underneath the basket. So a tied ball game, 59 points apiece. Sammy Whitcomb back onto the floor to a standing ovation.
Let's see how she goes. It'll be critical these next 2 or 3 minutes to see if she can finish out the fourth quarter. If she gets back into a cramp situation, it could be game over.
Drop down pass from Mijovic to Lavey. Outside to Mijovic, 6 to shoot. Has to rip through, pull up jumper from the elbow. Oh, it just didn't drop kindly. Just spilled off the iron. Can the Spirit retake the lead? Griffin's wide open this near side, she gets it. Can she make amends for the earlier miss? You bet. Lead back to Bendigo by 3.
Ruth Hamblin, the largest player on the court, having a closeout long to Griffin in the corner. Too late on that occasion. Griffin now knocking down shots from the perimeter.
Hamblin, long way from home. Left-hand jumper, no good. Well done, Edmondson. Rose above, claimed the defensive rebound and has been fouled. Now that's an important foul because it looks to be on Karaitiana, and that will be her 4th personal foul. So she needs to check out of the ball game. Replacing her, Heather Oliver.
It'll be interesting to see on this end of the floor how long the Lynx persevere with this 2-3 zone.
Especially if they're giving up wide open trays from the corner. Edmondson over to the skipper and Tessa Lavey. Edmondson eyes off the 3 and hits.
A big bucket for the Lynx, more importantly for Edmondson.
Just her 4th 3-point field goal make. She came into this ball game 3 of 18 from downtown. Ties the ball game. Richards, the Lynx remaining in that zone, Nick.
Sticking with it right now. Shot clock down to single figures.
Kunway outside. Griffin, another 3 short. Well done, Raincock and Kunway. Claim the board. Can she get the seal? No. 8 to shoot. Griffin tries to drive past Lavey. Outside to a Kunway. Little jump stop. That's an athletic move. Spilled off the right of the rim. Well done, Gabrielle Richards, cleaning up on the offensive end.
A poor job of allowing Akunway to get past her off the bounce right there. They have to make her shoot from the perimeter.
Just 4 points for Richards, but that was vital. Gives them the lead back. Whitcomb Gets past Oliver. Double team. Goes to the fall away. Short. Not sure how much Sammy's got left in the legs. Here comes Oliver. To the basket with a left hand, in and out. Wickham the rebound. Outlet pass to Levy. 2 points is the lead now for the Spirit. Back to Wickham. Rather proppy on that leg at the moment. How's the three look? It looked good out of the hand. It was too strong. Here comes Harrington looking to push. Over to that far side now. Richards has it right in front of the head coach of the Lynx. Over to Oliver, outside. Harrington pump fake, got Miovic in the air. Pull-up jumper, rattles home. A big basket for the Spirit as we have travelled 3 minutes in this final term and the lead back to 4 points.
The scoring point guard with a shot fake. Up until then, she was 0 for 3 from the field. Her first bucket in the game and a much-needed one for the Spirit.
And what a time to do it too. Miovic looking for the quick answer. Looking to push. They smell blood in the water here, the visitors. Upstairs, great finish from a classy player as another Perth Lynx player is down on the floor. This time Tony Edmondson, and she's grasping at her right leg. And I'm hoping that's another cramp. They're not contagious, are they? Cramps, Nick?
No, but a dangerous sign for the Lynx. Something that they're known for is being able to go from baseline to baseline and push the ball on all occasions. The Spirit being the more dominant team so far late or early into the fourth quarter here.
A big factor in that could be the unavailability still currently of Tanea Phillips.
Yeah, injured. Not having a deep bench here, particularly with the guard rotations, could be affecting the Lynx, and the Spirit feeding off that, pushing it at all occasions. And they are a good team that loves to run as well.
The Lynx need to get it going fast. 6:19 remains in the ball game. Lee, between the legs dribble. Oh, that was a tough basket. The former Lady Rebel out of UNLV sticks the pull-up jumper and cuts the lead back to 4 points. Backdoor action there for Oliver. Great pass from Gabrielle Richards. Overplaying the passing lane results in the easy backdoor play.
She's been impressive, using a lot of energy at both ends of the floor, running out of that motion offense, and they love back cutting and being able to finish like that. Great move by Oliver.
Hand off to Wickham. Only 7 to shoot now for Sammy. Has to work off the on-ball from Hamlin. Outside to Levy. Inside to Hamlin. Only 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. You want to get it off, Ruth. She didn't. And a great defensive set there for the Bendigo Spirit, digging their heels in.
They certainly are. They've the offensive ability to be able to continue to put pressure from the perimeter for the Lynx has dried up a little bit, Matt. In the fourth quarter, 50% of their shots have come from beyond the three-point line. They're going to have to find different ways to score right now.
Well, the gauntlet laid down by the visiting Bendigo Spirit. How will the Lynx respond? Let's head in to the head coach of the Perth Lynx, Andy Stewart. Let's hear what he has to say.
I want you to pop to the short corner. Okay? I want you guys to come off Ruth. All right? And I just want you to dive and seal. Got it? Okay. Now if you don't process it anymore. You throw the ball in there. I don't care if it's a bad shot. Got it? Yes, you got it? You're out. Whoever wants to run off it, either one of them. Okay? Gabe will soft, and then she'll try to get back to you. You can still go to a wing and go straight in. Seal her up like crazy. Okay? Got it? Yep, let's be vicious right now. Yep, we're in man-to-man. Everybody done?
Boys, just a quick update on Tony Edmondson as well. It looked like a right calf cramp also, same as Sammy. So same treatment. They had her on magnesium. Didn't look like she was in as much pain as Sammy. But also the secret weapon for the Lynx seems to be the juice from sweet pickled gherkins. Go figure. Back to you.
Mark Cometti does not fail to disappoint us each week with his in-depth research on that sideline. Well done, Mark. Here comes Richards. Can she get the putback off her own miss? No. Lynx dodge a bullet.
Great rebound there by Keisha Lee. She's got a lot of energy in the tank. She needs to come out here and make an impact in this fourth quarter for the Lynx.
Nat Burton tries to force it into Hamlin. Guarded by Richards. Is going nowhere. 6 to shoot. Burton. Tough leaner. Great finish from Nat Burton.
Stretching the floor, putting it on the bounce and being able to go past her defender. A strength of her game with her mobility.
Dietrich Outside, they swing it around to Oliver, and she's been crucial in this fourth term with a couple of big baskets, Nick.
She's been big. A strength of her game is to be able to defend 90 feet and also super aggressive. She's a talented player.
6 points, still that buffer for the visitors. Whitcomb into the lane, had Hamblin cutting to the basket. She was fouled in the act of shooting. Interesting decision from the officials. Sammy, I guess that's why they call it the charity stripe, Nick. We'll get to shoot 2.
Well, and something that the Lynx will have to try to do early in this game to relieve a bit of pressure from their half-court offense is put the ball on the floor. Looked like it was a pass off to Hamblin there, but to get themselves to the free throw line with 4.5 minutes to go, 3 team fouls for the Spirit, none on the Lynx.
So Whitcomb going to the line. She has 37 for the ball game. And a couple of big foul shots in the context of this ball game. And the first one popped out. Bit 2 pieces of the cup and popped out. Can she make amends? No, she can't. 0 of 2. It's a bit like a lunar eclipse, Nick. That's very rare to see Sammy Whitcomb, a player of her ilk, go 0 of 2, empty from the foul line.
And prior to that, she was 100% from the foul line as well. So could be signs of fatigue potentially for Sammy.
Can Bendigo extend and get a firm grip on this ball game? Richards to Akunwe, out to Griffin. This will be a dagger. Missed to the right.
They have to put a body on Akunwe, an athletic forward who can just rebound over the top of you if you don't make contact.
Akunwe had Griffin diving to the basket. Well done, Hamblin. Blocked the shot, allowed another shot. Griffin got it up very quickly and found the bottom of the basket.
A dagger after a good defensive possession, contesting, blocking a shot, loose ball and finish like that, fading away.
Nothing going at the moment for the Lynx. I didn't see anyone go out there with a glad wrap. It seems as though they cannot catch a break in this fourth term. Spirit have not led by double digits. They could do with a 2 or a 3 here, obviously. Harrington, lovely crossover move inside to Akunwe. Fantastic find and a little pocket pass into Raincock Akunwe. Double digits the margin now. And can Whitcomb get something going? Jump pass out to Lee. She's been cold tonight. A little left with a shot. Well done, Mijovic. Allows the reset now for the Lynx. Whitcomb into the heart of the paint, upstairs. Oliver fouled her. She'll go to the line to try and make amends from the foul line, shooting 2.
Whitcomb making a concentrated effort of getting herself to the foul line. It looks like her legs are a little weary, so taking the pressure off from the perimeter game and being able to get herself to the foul line. A critical time here for the Lynx with 3 minutes remaining.
Just 2 blemishes on the last trip. Make that 3. Have to look up the history books. I don't think Sammy Whitcomb has ever missed 4 straight foul shots. 10 points the margin. Inside 3 minutes. Griffin just got to the ball ahead of Whitcomb. They look to double her in the low block. Well done. They gambled and Hamblin comes up with a steal. The Lynx need to get it going and fast. Whitcomb. Hammond's got the dive down low. The pass just missed the mark. And the Spirit will look to take the air out of the ball now. Bounce pass inside to Akunwe. That could be curtains, Nick.
A much needed timeout for the Lynx here, Coach Stewart. Wanting to gather the Lynx players together, try to find a solution to what has been a dominant fourth quarter by the Bendigo Spirit.
78 plays 66 as we await to head in as we have a look at Akunwe's last basket, extending to the biggest of the ball game. Let's head into the team huddle, the Perth Lynx.
Susan, can you
guys, we're in on ball straight away. We're not going to expect you. Okay, now set it low. Set it low.
Come on, Susan.
Very low. Get out to the corner. Okay. Which way do you want to go? Right. Carly, sit here. Get out to this corner. Got it? Yep. Tess, get up high. Sam out. Ruth, set the screen. But I want it well inside the 3, or they're not going to play on her. Got that? Yep. Everything now is creation off and on ball. everything. Create off and on ball at the high, and let's see what happens. If you want to go early, pull it early.
Andy Stewart keeping the game plan simple, pick and rolls.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking for early offense, spacing the floor and looking for a catch and shoot opportunity out of being created from the on-ball pick and roll between a two-man game with Levy and Ruth Hamlin. On the other side of the equation, it'll be controlling the ball and the tempo in the last 2 minutes 20 here for the Spirit. They've got a 12-point lead here, Matt. They want to chew time off the clock.
The Looks trying to defend an unblemished home court record. Edmondson, can she get it going? Another one pops in and out. 2 minutes left in the contest as Wickham, overzealous on the steal attempt, fouls Harrington. And only the first team foul in 8 minutes of basketball.
And if the Lynx can get themselves to the charity stripe on the next offensive set down there, the clock will stop, allow them to put some points on the board is a huge advantage for them.
Griffin ran out of options. Well done, Edmondson. Looking for a 5-second call. It was very close. Richards, 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot. Fall away. Oh, it almost dropped for her. Griffin on the glass. Fouled by Edmondson. 2 shots on the way for the Bendigo Spirit.
And that's what the Spirit do so well. Griffin, Okunwe, they're so good at crashing the glass and putting the defense under pressure on that occasion. A huge, huge opportunity here for them to extend this lead.
Hasn't Griffin come to play tonight in game number 100, as we said pre-game, all with the Bendigo Spirit. 30 points tonight, well up on her season averages of 13 points per game. 54% foul shooter, swishes the first. That may be a task too much to handle now for the Perth Lynx. 13 points the margin, and that's extended. No, it's not. In and out. Mijevic almost lost the handle. Around 90 seconds left. The Lynx will need to pull off a miracle. Edmondson, can she get the ball rolling?
It may not be over.
Of course she can. Oh, Nick, the pass batted down. Levy the steal to Wickham. Heavy contact. Interesting no call. Jump call is the decision on the floor. Possession arrows with the Spirit. Big turn of events. I thought Wickham was dealt with pretty firmly underneath the basket. No call, and now the Lynx are going to need to extend this pressure. 10 points the margin. Spencer. Scott Hamlin well away from the basket. 10 seconds used. Spencer, she's not going to look to pull the trigger. They're going to look to work as much clock off as possible. Griffin, she's got the hot hand. Outside now to Harrington. Guarded by Mijevic. And that will do it.
A dagger. An absolute dagger. Shot clock down to single figures.
In and out and down. Wickham looks to get past Griffin to the basket. Lays it up and in. 39 for Wickham. I don't think it's going to be enough to get the win. Harrington gets the ball over the timeline. Payne. 11 points. And they have to foul on the instructions from Andy Stewart. Mijevic goes over.
Sorry, Matt. Harrington in the past, she's been a dominant scorer in this competition. And this year she's playing more of the point guard duties, orchestrating their offense for the Spirit. She's almost been like a Jermaine Beal in the past. This year she stepped up and has had the composure, but you can see the ability down the stretch to be able to knock down that big three, a la like a Jermaine Beal.
Now, league rule says that we can't have a live microphone in the team huddle, so we'll wait to see Mark Cometti's interpretation of halftime. Nick, let's just have a look briefly while the timeout's taking place. Next up on the menu, 2 tough road games now for the Perth Lynx. November 25, they travel to the defending champions, a rematch, Chapter 2. They've already lost to Townsville this year, and then the following week have to go on the road into our nation's capital and take on the UC Capitals.
And Townsville, over the last few games, have changed the way that they've been playing. They've won those close encounters. They've crept themselves back up into the top 4. And you know the quality of what they have. Players like Batkovic, which are going to force and trouble some of the Lynx interior players as well.
A solid away record for the Lynx. We know they had 4 road games to start the season. They go 3-2 with that win over Adelaide last week, so not all hope will be lost, I'm sure. Still a quality team as the teams return. Mark Cometti, what did you take from that timeout from Andy Stewart?
Well, Andy Stewart just setting up, obviously, some ways to get the girls some good looks from 3, and obviously pressuring the ball after everything and looking for steals on every possession.
Still 2 fouls to give to for the Lynx, so valuable time will be chewed up here. They look to triple team and could have almost got away with a half court or a jump ball situation there. Instead, Sammy Whitcomb whistled for the personal foul, her 3rd.
And only the 3rd team foul, so they're going to have to foul quickly here on 2 occasions to try to stop the clock and send them to the free throw line.
36.5 seconds remain. And they get it in to Harrington. They can't foul her. And they wasted almost 4.5 seconds there before fouling. Caratiana, they still have a foul to give, so 1 more foul puts them on the line, and that is the 5th and final foul, unfortunately, for Tony Edmondson, as she has to check out of the ball game. Andy Stewart has a look down at the bench and throws in Keisha Lee. They give it back to Harrington. Back outside now. Hands of Payne. Only 6 now. Probably don't need to foul because there's only 5 to go. 3 to shoot now. 2. That would be the absolute end of the ball game. If there was any doubt, that has been squashed. Into the closing stages as Levy goes very deep and early. Hamblin the offensive board. Whitcomb a step back 3. That for 40. Unsuccessful. An impressive team performance, particularly from Kelsey Griffin. 31 points in game number 100 and a big road win for the Bendigo Spirit. 13 points, the final margin after leading by 2 points at 3/4 time. The Lynx couldn't get much to drop in that 4th term after a red-hot Sammy Whitcomb fired in 33 first-half points. She ended up with 39 for the ball game. And we're going to cross straight away to Nik Lacovic, who has Kelsey Griffin, 100 gamer, and victorious on the sideline.
Kelsey, firstly, congratulations on game number 100, but your performance tonight, 31 points, and doing something on the floor that no other team has been able to do and beat the Lynx.
Well, you have to credit Perth. I mean, they played really hard. This is a really good effort for us. We haven't been scoring this much, and so I think what happened was we really came together after that Townsville loss. Knew we had to lean on each other to get it done, and this is a hostile environment to come in and play, and I credit them, but yeah, I'm really proud of our girls tonight.
The first half performance by Sammy Whitcomb, something that we haven't seen in the league for many, many years. What was talked about in the